Welcome on board. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you are doing very well and looking forward to today's broadcast. We'll be answering some interesting questions today. I've got an audio that I did with my husband. It's just a short one, and then the rest of the questions I'll answer them. So stay tuned. Share with somebody, invite someone to come on board. Let's impact somebody today. If you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, or you can send it on WhatsApp to me right now. Maybe you don't want people to know you are the one asking the question. You can send it to me on WhatsApp. My number is 00447506009931. And I will answer the question without mentioning your name. Please say hello once you come on board. Say something for me to know you are watching. If you are swallowing, please, as part of your swirl culture, please share the broadcast. Let's invite people. I'm going to try and tackle some of the questions to do with singles, and then I will go into in-laws and then sex. So this is a lady. She said she's sending this on behalf of her friend. Okay, she said Amma has been courting Yao for a month now. Okay, Yao never seems to check up on Amma or replies to most of the important questions Amma asks. Amma visited Yao for the weekend and wasn't comfortable at all because Yao's nephews and nieces had also come to visit. Amma was prevented from going into the kitchen or doing any household chores. Before the weekend could end, Yao told Amma that her mother has insisted he brings the kids over. Before they had to leave on Saturday, Amma sat Yao down to discuss their relationship because since she went visiting Yao, he has not had the time to have a proper conversation with her. And Yao only told Amma about their trip to the village during the discussion. Amma wouldn't have known his plans for the day till she called for a discussion. Yao has been taking good care of Amma and her family, but money is not everything for Amma. Amma is passionately in love with Yao and would want to know what to do. Okay, so there are some of the questions that I'm actually surprised to see them coming in. Welcome on board. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin Adai. Thank you for the encouragement. Okay, so this question, a few things that I've spotted. Okay, so they've just been in a relationship for one month. 1 month. And she's already gone there for the weekend. Okay. Now, if you've been following my broadcasts all this while, you already know that if I have my metal cane, I will use it on you. The lady asking this question. The reason is because you've just met a person. 1 month is not enough for you to even go there for the whole weekend. Okay? And then she's also saying that she was prevented from going into the kitchen or doing any household chores. Why do you want to do household chores? Why? Is he married to you? Are you living together as a husband and a wife? You've just gone to visit. So you want to do household chores. So this tells us, there are many people who are in that situation right now. They feel like immediately they're in a relationship, they must do everything. They must cook for the person, sleep with the person, wash their clothes, give them money. You don't need to do that. Okay? Relationship is not for that. So please, the person asking this question, I'm happy that you brought it on board, but it's not very encouraging. And I don't expect that a 1 month relationship, you would already be going over there to sleep over and wanting to cook. Okay. It also looks like the guy is not really paying attention to the lady because he doesn't have any important conversations with you. So from what I'm saying from this discussion, this question, it looks like the relationship has already started on a very wrong note. Okay, the foundation is already wrong. Okay, so you would have to start building the right foundation. Okay, the fact that you've started wrongly does not mean that you should continue on the wrong way. There's always a time, there's an opportunity to always retreat and do the right thing. Okay, so the right thing I would suggest you do, because at the moment this guy, he's not discussing any important things with you. He's not calling you. The guy too shouldn't be taking care of you and the family. Just 1 month. I don't know what's going on with the two of them. Okay, so yes, money is not everything. And you should not be at a place where just 1 month you're already passionately in love with the person, and you're already jumping into their home and you want to cook, you want to do household chores. It's not the right thing to do. So I would ask that this lady take some step back and start doing the right thing. The most important thing is have a chat on the phone. Go back to wherever you are, go to your house. Make the conversation a phone conversation for now, okay? If you live close by and you want to visit, maybe visit during the day or in the evening after work, after school, you catch up, you talk. You don't have to live in the house with the person. You don't have to go there over the weekend and sleep over. You don't have to do all of that. The relationship is too new. You are not even in courtship. This is literally the dating stage, okay? He's not even told you he wants to marry you. So you've not even, it's too early for all of that. So please keep the relationship now on phone. Speak more on the phone. You are calling him, he's not calling you. He's not replying you. He's not talking to you. It already shows that he's not interested in the relationship. I don't think this guy really loves you. Yeah, unfortunately, your heart is already there. And that's why you're already jumping into his house and wanting to do things. That's the unfortunate thing about women. Ladies are more emotional, men are logical. And sometimes we do certain things and we think that because we are doing things for the guy would automatically love us. Many guys want women who are different from the other girls that they've seen around. There are so many cheap girls around who will sleep with any man. Even today, they meet you today, they will sleep with you. Okay, they don't care. And some of these guys have played around with most of these girls. Okay, so when they meet somebody and maybe they genuinely loved you at the beginning, they want to see if you are different from those other girls. Because there are so many guys there who are also desperate. They are looking for marriage. They want to marry. But they feel like all the girls are loose. Okay, so it's difficult for them to find somebody to say, this girl is focused. This girl is different from the rest of the people. And so when they meet you and already you want to cook, you want to wash their clothing, you want to come and sleep in their house, they think you are just like those girls they've used before. So they start playing up because you are not the person they want. They want to marry. Okay, so you doing all those things, you are actually selling yourself short because there are many guys out there, they want women who are different. Not the street girl that he can just go and call and the person comes and he have his way with. He doesn't want that. So the ladies, please advise yourself. So this relationship, I don't think is on the right note. So it doesn't look like the guy is interested. But if you think maybe you can still work it out, then keep yourself away. Keep yourself. Stop going to sleep over in the house. Don't demand to do anything for him. Keep the conversation on the phone. If you realize that you are pushing, he's not pulling his feet, he's not responding to you, quit. Because it shows that he's not interested and you don't want to waste your time. Okay? So that's what I would say to you. If anybody, those of you watching, if you've got any comment you want to add to this, if any advice you want to add, feel free to post it in the comments. Okay? And then there is another question. This person said, can you elaborate more on the statement that despite people's claims that God will not show you your partner, though it happens for some people like you said, the peace you find around the person can be a confirmation? I am just wondering because some people can pretend to give you peace, and when you start a relationship, they show you their true character. What advice do you have for guys, ladies who are naturally caring to anyone they meet, not necessarily the opposite sex, in order not to send wrong signals because their attention might not be necessarily in that direction? Let's see. Though he proposed, okay, he said the attention of your husband-to-be as at the time seemed to have affected your focus. So this person actually watched the previous episodes, so she's just sharing from there. Though he proposed marriage later, what advice do you have for singles who do not have intentions for a relationship or naturally care for the opposite relationship? which sends wrong signals. Okay, so literally, the first part of the question said, I'm wondering, he wants to know whether you can still know that a person is your husband or your wife just by the peace the person gives you. I'm just wondering because some people can pretend to give you peace. Now, it is not about the person giving you peace. Okay, so when I talk about you having peace about the person, that peace is not coming from the person. It's not coming from what the person is doing for you or what you are seeing the person doing. The peace is coming from God. Okay, because you can meet somebody. I told you in the episode 2, I shared how I met this guy. He was God-fearing. His family, they're all pastors. Okay, and he was aspiring to be a pastor. And I've always wanted to marry a pastor. So already he ticked my box. He was rich. And I was working on some of his accounts. So I know he was rich. He's always into investment. He's doing this, he's doing that. I know he's rich. He was gentle. Okay. He was calling me. He gave me attention. In fact, I was tired. Okay. What the person would do for you, how they treat you, how they behave around you, the way they carry themselves. Maybe they've got a vision. They are serious-minded. All those things are good signs that this person, if you walk with them, this is the direction that it will go. But the confirmation that you need has to come from God himself. The Holy Spirit have to give you that peace in your mind. You will feel it. You will know. It's the kind of peace that nobody can tell you that it will be in this way. You'll feel cold, or you go to bed and you sleep, we can't give you that description, but it is something that you will know from your inner man. You will know. I shared how this guy was doing all those things and still I couldn't sleep for 3 weeks. I was restless. I just knew that this is not it. This is not it. And the day I said, no, I can't marry you, that day I slept like a baby. Okay, so the peace is not coming from the person, it's coming from God. And God will give you that peace. You just have to keep praying about the person. Lord, I've met this guy, I've met this woman. He's this, he's that. I've seen all these things about him, about her. From my human side, I think he's nice. I think I like him. But Holy Spirit, what do you say? Father, what do you say? You know what is ahead. You know what will happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 2 years from now. Will this person still be the person that I'm seeing today? Holy Spirit, give me the peace. Show to me that indeed he's the right person. Give me signs. Lead me to somewhere. Lead me to somebody that would confirm this to me. Show me a dream or give me an impression. Speak to me. Let me hear an audible voice. So show me something that will show that this person is for me. One of the things that I wanted to know to serve as a confirmation was that I said, I want to be happy. I want to feel this excess happiness about the person. And I was so happy. Even on the wedding day, our bishop said to me, "Peace, you are too happy." And I was laughing by my mind. I was like, I'm not too happy. This is a confirmation because I prayed for that. Okay, so I was excessively happy. That was the prayer. So you too ask God. And see, even the devil can also give you counterfeit. Sometimes you could say, and those of you who normally will say, Father, when I enter this place, the man who will come and he's wearing red, he must be my husband. The woman who will come and she's got lipstick, red lipstick or blue lipstick, that must be my wife. What would you do if the man that entered is a 75-year-old man and is wearing red? Would you say that is God's choice for you? Okay, so those signs I'm talking about signs, things that you can't really put your finger on, but you know this is God. It's inner. Your inner man will testify to it, and you will feel there is this peace. You will know it. When you get there, you will know it. You will know it. Okay, so, yeah. And then the other bit, he says, How do you relate to ladies to ensure that, or the opposite sex, to ensure that you don't give them the wrong signals? Please follow my videos, the various episodes, because they've all touched on some of these things. Okay, if you feel some people are naturally nice. My husband is naturally nice. Okay, sometimes he's talking to somebody and the way he's speaking, and I can hear at the background the lady is already melting. I was like, hey, you've got to be careful. You are just being nice, but this person, they are taking it another way. Okay, so what I would say is, if you are the nice person, be careful. Okay, be extra careful when you are dealing with the opposite sex. Make sure that women especially, once you start showing them too much care, they feel you love them. Okay, so maybe somebody is calling you, they are sick, and anytime they are sick, you are always calling them. You will call them, how are you? You call them in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. They think you like them already. And then you even send them money. Oh, I want to send you this money so that you go to the clinic. You are not their mother. You are not their father. Why you do all of that? Okay, you are giving them wrong signals, right? So what I would say is, be yourself. You are a nice person. Be yourself, but don't go extra mile to do things that you know that will cause some problems later on. Okay, don't call the person and don't call them every day. Don't call them every day. Don't call them every day. No, don't call them every day. When I was single, I had a lot of guys that joined Swell. So many guys. At a point, we had more guys in Swell than ladies. And the reason is because some of them wanted me. So when they see my broadcast, they come, they just follow me, they want to join Swell. Because of me, I knew. Okay, I knew. And I even had a dream about it. There was a time I dreamed that I saw a lot of guys. They were all in a row. They were in a row and they were all holding flowers. They wanted to give me the flowers. And some of them, I saw some Swallians. Okay, they wanted to give me flowers. And in the dream, I was packing my bag. It's like I had my luggage and I was packing my clothes. I was trying to arrange my clothes. So literally God was trying to tell me that there are so many people out there who want to, marry me, or they want my hand in marriage. But at the moment, my focus is on preparation, because I was getting myself together. I was putting my bags together, my clothing together. I was preparing myself. So I woke up and understood a dream. And what I did was, some of these guys, some of them, there was a particular guy, he would fall sick. He would tell me, oh, I'm not feeling well. And I said, okay, I pray for you that God will heal you. After that, he won't hear from me for a whole week. I will wait until he sends me another message to give me an update. I don't go back to updates to find out how are you doing, because I already knew this person is interested in me. And because I'm not interested, if I keep checking on him, he's going to be emotionally attached. He will feel like, oh, she likes me. She also likes me. That's why she's always calling me. She's always checking on me. So I don't. I wait. When he comes and say, oh, how are you doing? I'm feeling better now. I say, oh, thank you. Thank God. And I had so many things like that. I had somebody come on orientation. The guy was, excuse me to say, he was disabled. Okay, and I got to know about it during the orientation, and I naturally felt for him. Okay, because he told me the story about how it happened. He was a child when somebody, I think they gave him some injection and it affected his legs. And since then, he's not been able to walk. So when I heard the story, it really touched me. And I tried to, be nice. Within 30 minutes, he was already proposing love to me. 30 minutes. He's never met me. He's never seen me. He's already telling me, oh, I love you. Can we? I was like, look at this. Look at this. Okay, so some of us are like that. So please, be nice, but don't be overly nice. Stop calling the person. Stop sending them gifts. Stop going to visit them. Sometimes you go and buy them something. You take them out. You say, can we go to the beach? and then you carry the person to the beach. Meanwhile, there is no strings attached. Don't do that. You are sending wrong signals. Okay. And then there is a question that's actually attached to this as well. There's another person said, you've been in a good friendship with no strings attached, and you are both in your respective relationships. However, if you didn't communicate with him or her at a maximum of 3 to 5 days, then there is wahala. How do you deal with this kind of friendship? It's simple, okay? Make your intentions known to the person from day one. You've already realized that they are complaining. They shouldn't be complaining. You are both in different relationships. You all know that you are friends. So if the person is complaining, ask them, be bold and ask them, why are you complaining? Why? Do you expect me to call you every day? If they say, yes, I want you to call me every day, say to them, I'm very sorry, I won't be able to do that. And the reason is because I'm busy. Even if you're not busy, you are busy. Okay? Tell them you are busy. This is not lie. I'm busy, I'm doing this, I have to do this. I've also got a relationship. I have to spend time with my girlfriend. I have to call my girlfriend more. So that's why I'm not calling you. Okay? Because maybe even though you are both in different relationships, she may be interested in you, or he may be interested in you. There are some people, they are just in a relationship and they still have these people they've bonded with, and they are hoping that, your relationship will end so that you come to them. And I bet you, immediately you tell them that your relationship is over, you will see. They will start being overly nice because they want your attention. Okay, so tell them plainly, I'm very sorry. I know we are friends. We are in a friendship. I won't be able to call you every day. And the reason is because I have other things that I'm doing. And I also have a girlfriend. I have to give her more attention. Make sure the girl understands that you are giving your girlfriend more attention. Make sure the boy understands that you are giving your boyfriend more attention. When they realize that you are putting your girlfriend or your boyfriend before them, if they have any intentions or if they are feeling emotionally attached to you, they will now begin to get it that this guy doesn't like me. He's not interested in me because he's got another girlfriend and he's paying attention. And keep that distance. Okay, stick to, if it was 3 to 5 days before you call the person, stick to it. If you don't stick to it and immediately they start complaining, you change. They tell you, well, you are not calling me every day. And then because of that, you start calling them every day. You are giving them a wrong signal. Because if somebody can easily convince you and get their way around with things, they feel like, yeah, they must be very special to you. Okay, so stick to your boundaries, and every time they complain, make your boundaries clear to them. This is where we stand, and this is it. Okay, if they are not happy with it, they can quit. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so this was where we actually did it on the WhatsApp group. So another lady gave an example of what happened to her regarding a similar situation. She said, about guys not making their intentions known early. I was with a guy. We both liked each other. Talked about stuff, though there was no proposal. In Ghana or in Africa, especially in Ghana, when they say proposal, they mean you are telling them they are your girlfriend. Okay, you've asked them for a relationship. But in the Western world, proposal, when somebody says they are proposing marriage, they are proposing to you, it means they actually are asking for your hand in marriage. I don't know if it makes sense. So even though you are in a relationship, there's still a stage whereby they would ask for your hand in marriage and say, would you marry me? That's what is the proposal in the UK at least. Okay, but Africa or Ghana is a bit different. So he said, he suddenly decided to avoid me, not calling, nor answering my calls or replying messages. So I got angry one early morning, called him to ask why he's doing that. And all he said was, he thinks we are getting too close. I was surprised because I thought everything was mutual. I was hurt, but I gave him the space he needed and moved on. That was last year. He wasn't calling, neither was I. He started checking up, but I kept ignoring him. I don't know his intentions this time around. He came to ask me recently why I have given him space. I told him he asked for it. Then he said, oh, yes, I did. I did, but the space is too much. Like, really? Matters of the heart and you want to play around? Okay, so this is my Swali saying this. He said, I think it's because he did not declare his intentions early enough. And I also read from his actions he liked me, but he wanted us to stay apart. Closure is good. Okay, so she actually decided, if you want your space, I'll give you your space. And the guy is now, so give them space if they want space. And then, okay, so there's another question here. So this same person said, from your video, you went to inform your pastor and wife about the guy who proposed to you, just for clarification. But I didn't hear you say you inquired about your husband from any of the pastors, apart from the first sight inquiry you made. Was it because personally you were certain of him? Okay, there is another statement that she put on another group, and she was saying that, I think you naturally like your husband before he even proposed. Okay, so in the video, I did say, there was one of our pastors in my previous church. There are a lot of pastors, okay, but it was only one of them, and it was actually one pastor's wife that I was very close with, and through that, the husband too were close, but I was talking more with the woman, because naturally I like to deal with the women, not the men. So I was more close with the woman, and if I knew that their marriage is such that anything I tell her, she will tell the husband. She doesn't have to tell me, but I knew. Okay, I knew that. And even though I didn't mention in the video that I inquired about my husband, they were already aware. They were already aware that there was something like that in the background, because I had shared some dreams that I had with the lady and with my pastor's wife. And she said to me that if this is really God, it would happen. Okay, so she kept encouraging me. They gave me guidelines what to do. Just like I've been saying, don't push yourself on the person. Focus on what you are doing. And if it's the will of God, it would happen. Okay, so that was what was happening. And so the reason why I went to them when the second guy showed up was because I wanted to make sure that I'm not making a mistake. Because I feel like I've heard God about this. I believe this is what it is. It's taken longer than I expected. And naturally, when you feel like there is a delay, you begin to question things. You begin to question, is it you that is making the mistake? Are you the one reading things wrongly? Did you hear wrongly? You see, because 10 years, you are still waiting and nothing is happening. Of course, every wise person will begin to question things. Okay, so when this guy came along and I thought, okay, this guy wants to settle down quickly. Should I go ahead or should I still wait? So then I had to go back to them and say, what do you think? What do you think? And they said, I actually spoke to the pastor about this, and he said, give him a chance, speak to him. I was more concerned about the age. I sent his photo. They looked at the photo. He said, he's not looking bad. You can give him a chance and see what will come out of it. So I kept them informed on every stage. Even we had an outing. We went out for a date. I was chatting with my pastor and the wife. I was telling them everything that was happening, because this was something new. I've not really exposed myself to something like that. So I wanted to make sure that they are kept informed and I'm not making the wrong move and I'm not going to get myself hurt. Okay, so some of you are in Swal, and we've got a rule that if a Swalian comes and they say, I want a relationship with you, keep us informed. The reason why I say keep us informed is not because I want to interfere. Trust me, I don't want to know your issues. Left to me alone, you shouldn't have any issues for me to even deal with. Do you know how busy I can be? I don't have the time to be speaking to you. I'm crying on the phone. I'm staying on the phone with you and you are crying or you're crying. I don't have that time. Oh. So I don't want you to get to that place where somebody breaks your heart. And we've had issues. Some of you, those of you who are on the WhatsApp group, you've had issues whereby a guy will say, he will tell this person, I want to marry you. He will tell that person, I want to marry you. He will tell, by the time you realize he slept with all of them. But if the leadership was aware that this person has approached you, they've told you they want to meet up with you, and we are aware, if all these girls came and told us, it would have stopped from the second person. Because I would have said, but this guy asked this one also out. Why is he asking you two out? And the good thing that happened was one of the people actually followed the rules and came to me and said, Mrs. Amayo, I just want to let you know that this person has asked me for a relationship. He said he wants us to do blah, blah, blah. I just want you to know and to be aware. What do you think? That was when I said, oh, really? And at that time, the person was already in a big mess with another person that we were trying to deal with. And in the same time, whilst we are dealing with the issue, he wants to meet another person. He wants to meet another person. You see? And some of the things that happen in the background, we can't come and tell you on the WhatsApp group that this person did this to this person, he did that to that person. So you only see us taking actions and you feel like, oh, they are not being fair. So some of you ladies, I know some of the guys have messed you up, but you won't tell us. You won't tell us, but if you tell us, that's your problem. So if you're in a church and they are telling you, this is the rule in the church. When you are starting a relationship, say it. They do those things because of experience. They've had previous cases and they don't want the same thing to repeat. So it protects you, it protects the church. So please, let's follow these things. I've done it. I told my pastor, they knew everything. I didn't have to hide anything. Not all the pastors, but the one that I was comfortable with, I shared with them. And they guided me until I got married. Okay, so. And yeah, I naturally liked my husband. I think my husband is the kind of person that you would like because he's gentle, he's nice. I think I liked him. Yeah. And I've heard so many times that when it comes to marriage, apart from you having the emotions, the emotions that we call love, or the feelings, you should also naturally like the person. Okay, so that there are certain things that you can't do to the person because you genuinely like them. Okay. Right. Now let's switch to a question about sex. Okay, so I'm going to play the audio. I did this, it's a 9 minutes, 18 seconds audio with my husband. So I'm going to play it. If you can't hear, please let me know. Okay. I think it's very low. My laptop is...
Okay, so the first question is from a lady. She said, I have married with 3 kids and anytime there's pregnancy, my husband asks me to take it out, in other words, to abort it. And it has happened 3 times. He claims he doesn't have enough to take care of the family. However, he keeps enjoying himself, into bracket sex. So the first question the lady is asking is this love or the man is being selfish? What is she supposed to do? Just to let you know, I've tried to have a background check with this lady to find out in terms of contraception, if they've considered contraception, but it looks like they don't believe in it. So what advice would you give to this person? And how they should handle it?
Thank you for the privilege to be able to contribute. Good to contribute. The first thing I would say is that I'm not sure what the family vision is when it comes to children. If there hasn't been one yet, then I believe that both of you need to really sit down and really agree as to whether as to how many children you want to have, whether the three is just the full stop, or you want more children, because if you do want more children, then you have to find a way to managing it. From the way it sounds to me, from the question, it sounds to me like you do want more children, but just a case of the financial capability in respect to having children. But either case, there needs to be a real vision as to how many children you want to have, and basically both of you really agree and then work towards it. So that's the first thing. The second thing as well I want to also to put across is that the fact that he said that he doesn't have money is not an excuse for him not to have sex. In the context of marriage, both of you, upon agreement, you are allowed to have sex, because it is something that both of you have assigned to, and you both agree to. So it is not an excuse for him not to enjoy himself, or for you not to enjoy himself, or for you both not to have sex. It's very important. Sex is for enjoyment within the marriage context, and that's pretty much what both of you should understand and should do. But the other thing I also want to make sure, to the question I said, there has been a background check, and it seems as if both of you don't really agree with the whole thing about contraception. Okay, so if you're not really into contraception, that is fine. So that is your belief, that is your agreement. But at the same time as well, the other option that you have to also could employ is the aspect of medically. There are medical procedures whereby if both of you have agreed that you don't want to have children anymore, and the 3 is just enough, then there are medical procedures whereby you can have, in order not to have children again, without employing the aid of contraception. So that is available, and if you look into it and both of you agree and you look into it, you can employ such measures to ensure that the whole issue about contraception, so it's not an issue, so you will not keep having children, keep having seed to go through the whole thing about abortion, because when this happens, it seems there's an issue, and that goes on to the question of is this selfishness or love. I think what is happening here is not really about the issue of selfishness or love. It's just a financial, I believe it's a financial capability, a financial thing. And I bet you if there is the financial aid and the finances are in place and he's able to afford it, I believe there wouldn't be any issue about whether there's selfishness or love, because he's able to afford it, he's able to cater for the children, and you're able to have as many or less children as much as you want. But it's just that the finances makes it as if he doesn't care, as if there is selfishness, as if there is no love. But I think the issue is more about the finances rather than about love or selfishness. So if we are to take that element or variable of the finances aside, the question is that if you look at all other areas of the marriage or all other areas of love, is he loving? Is he caring? Is he understanding? Is he forgiving? All other aspects of love. If that really exists, then you cannot say that he's selfish. If all the other areas of love he's actually giving it, he's actually showing it, then you realize that money is the real thing. And where money is the real thing, that's where you need to really sit down to deal with the money aspect of things. And if, as a case of having more children, there's going to be financial problem, then just a case of you both have to basically call it a quit, or employ those medical procedures until both of you are able to come together and say that, okay, now we want to, the finances are in order, so we want to have more sex, and then you can basically take it from there. That's what I believe is the issue at ground here.
Okay.
Those of you admiring my looks, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so vision. It's so important. Don't do anything without having a vision about how far you want that thing to go or where you want that thing to go. Okay, if you are getting married, have a vision in every area. Okay, your finances, how many children you have to have. Yeah, don't just wait and then now there's issues and you have to abort. Can you imagine you are married and then you have to abort your pregnancies? God forbid. So the singles, as I've always been saying to you, I'm happy that we have more of our singles watching this broadcast. And even though the broadcast this is more for the married with a life people, you are at the best place now because you can correct some of these things before you get married. Okay, so if you are in a relationship right now, sit down and find out, how many children do you want to have? How many children? Okay. How many? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 10? So please do this. These are the conversations you should be having during your courtship. Not I love you, I miss you. When are you visiting me? When are you sending me this? Those are all bogus, as we say it in Ghana. It's not important. Okay. Let me continue to the next question.
Thank you. Right. So there is another question also on oral sex. It looks like we've got a few questions coming in. So this first question should cover all the questions that have come in with oral sex. So it says that I want to know if oral sex is good and hygienic, and what is the spiritual implications. Because some people believe that as a Christian, you should not indulge in oral sex.
So, now, number one, sex is an amazing thing, and God has created sex for our enjoyment in the context of marriage. So, that is very key. When it comes to oral sex, biblically speaking, when the Bible talks about sex, there are certain things that the Bible is quiet about. And when the Bible is quiet about, it means that the people that are engrossed or are engaging in it, they have to use, number one, spiritual wisdom, and also the case of righteousness in order to determine how they want to go about it by the direction of the Holy Spirit. So this is what I mean. Times in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, there was when anybody went in with any man or woman went in with each other. The Bible says that, and he went and then lay with her, or he went to lay with her, he went and lay with her, and that basically means that they went to have sex. As to how they had the sex, the Bible doesn't actually say it. So that is the thing. The Bible doesn't say whether they had oral sex, or they had a particular position, or they had whatever sex that they had. They also say he went in and lay with her, so they had sex. So in that sort of context, as to whether both of you, oral sex is pretty much something that should be agreed between the couples, I believe, in the realm of righteousness by the direction of the Holy Spirit, and nobody should feel guilty really if the couples choose to have oral sex, because it's a type of sex. Okay, sex is various aspects of that variables when it comes to sex, or different types of sex. Oral sex is all a type of sex, so it's very important that the couples would agree as to whether they want to have it or not. And as to the hygienic aspect of things, when it comes to sex, absolutely, whatever sex that there is, hygiene is very important. It's good for you. It's good for the man. It's good for the woman. Just to ensure that the right measures of basically keeping healthy and eliminating any risk is being adhered to. So I believe that is what my perspective when it comes to this particular topic.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay, so if you watch my episode 12, I dealt with sex. Okay, so please, those of you who are having questions about sex, try and find that episode and watch it. Okay. Oral sex has a lot of controversies, but as I always say, what you do in your bed is between you and your husband. Nobody can sit here and tell you do it or don't do it. I can't tell you that. It's up to you to be able to know what is right for you to do, because there are certain things that you do and you feel dirty. You feel dirty doing it. And there are some things that it's just, maybe you feel dirty doing it because of your mindset, because you've heard everybody saying it's not right. But if you look at the Bible, like my husband is saying, some of the things in some of the things the Bible is silent on it. Okay, it doesn't tell you details as to how you do it, how you don't do it. Okay, so you have to make sure that with the backing of the Holy Spirit, you listen to your spirit. If anybody have any biblical quotations that they can quote to show where it says do not have oral sex, please quote it, okay, so that we can all have a look at it. Because there is this link, I've still been trying to find it, but I've not been able to. There was a link that I listened to, a YouTube link, a video that a man was talking about oral sex. He's a preacher, and he was saying how Solomon, when you go into Songs of Songs, how he will say, and satisfy me, let your lips satisfy her breasts, and all those stuff. And he was saying that if it's to do with lips and breast, your lips, your mouth, that's oral. So if you're putting on the breast, what does that mean? Okay, so to him, he was saying that as long as the Bible does not come plainly on it to say that it is wrong, it's not wrong, or there's no scriptures to really give you guidelines, nobody can actually say it is 100% wrong. Okay, for me, I will listen to that if you've got some guidelines, you've got good reasons that you are saying it is wrong. Okay, I used to listen to Akuma Mamazimbi. It's been a while that I listened to her. She does this YouTube videos. Those of you in Ghana, she actually does other things that people are not really comfortable with. I don't watch her. I think the TV broadcast that they do, I don't watch it. I only see the one that they do on the YouTube, and they don't show all those sexually explicit stuff on YouTube. So she had one doctor come on the show, and they were talking about, is oral sex hygienic? And people were saying all sorts of things, and the doctor said that one of the tidiest place on the woman's body is her vagina. It's very tidy because the vagina has its own cleansing mechanism. Okay, so even though you may think, oh, the woman have her menstrual flow, the menstrual flow is not throughout the year. It's not throughout the month. It's just sometimes 4 days in the month, or some people may have 7 days and so forth. But the vagina has its own cleansing mechanism, and it is tidy. Okay, so if you are thinking, okay, because of you don't feel maybe if you do whatever the most important thing is, if you too believe that you have to do oral sex, make sure that you are all keeping yourself tidy. Bath and be clean. Okay, but if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it. Anything you feel you will do and your spirit is restless, you are not happy, you feel guilty, you feel dirty, you feel used, you feel like, excuse me to say, a prostitute, don't do it. Okay, so that will be my advice to you. Okay, I can't sit here, my husband and I cannot sit here and tell you what you should do in your bed and what you should not do. Okay, there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, there was a movie that I watched some time ago, and this lady and the husband wanted her to do oral sex, and it became a big problem. My husband and I watched together. I think when we went for our first year anniversary, we went away. So during our time there, we watched it. I was watching it, and it was very funny the way they were fighting. So I called my husband to come and watch. I said, look at this. They were fighting. It was a big deal. They would wake up in the middle of the night, and the husband want the woman to go down on him, and and the woman will be screaming. There will be the whole house. I said, wow, this one, if there are people in the house, they will just hear. So eventually the lady went to her friend and told her friend, this is what my husband wanted me to do. And the friend said, what is wrong with that? And she said, no, it's demonic, it's evil, it's this, da. And it was a big deal. The man was ready to divorce because of that. The man was ready to divorce. So eventually the lady's friend because the lady's friend really loved them. He loved the couple, and they were happy. They were a happy couple until that thing came into the picture. And the other bit was the man was also watching pornography. In the night, he'll be watching pornography, and whatever he sees, he now be waking the woman up to wake up and do the same thing to him. And she didn't know. She was not that kind of person. So eventually, her friend framed her up. He did a frame up with another person who pretended to be her husband's husband's girlfriend. They framed her up, and they made sure that the lady will hear conversations between the two of them. So she thought that the husband was cheating on her because of that. So she will go back to her friend, and the friend will say to her, you see, if you don't do it, some people will take your husband and da. So eventually, the lady gave in, and that restored her marriage. Okay, so it worked for them, but maybe it will not. I also shared a story about a lady whose husband tried it on her, and she vomited on the man. And since then, it was never an issue again. So it's up to you. Do more research about it. Do more research. Go on Google, go on YouTube, do more research about it. Find scriptures. Check the Bible and see if there are any scriptures that you can. Some things are not really clear-cut in the Bible, so you may not find any tangible scriptures, but as we are saying, let the Holy Spirit guide you. Okay, so I think I've got some questions on in-laws. Let me take a commercial break. Please share this broadcast with somebody. Just share it now. Now, just one click, and it's on your timeline. If you are swallowing, tag other people. Okay, this is how we promote our videos. We promote the vision. You don't know who may be going through issues. They will come across this video and it would help them. Okay, so the vision is not just for us, those of us on the WhatsApp group. It's for the whole world. We want to reach everybody. So please help us to make this happen. I'm going to read some of the comment that has come in. Okay, so hi, Otelia. Thank you, Robert. Robert says, you are looking gorgeous. You are looking great, sweet lady. Thank you. MFA, looking gorgeous. Thank you. And then Otelia says, those words annoys me. I'm sure she's talking about when the guy says things like, you are looking beautiful, your bum is nice, your this thing is, that thing, it just does something to my body. When people send me a message, hi beauty, hi pretty, oh my goodness, leave me alone. I don't like it. I thought those were some of the things I hated when I was single. Hi pretty, hi my queen, hello my baby. When did I become your baby? I didn't like it. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. So the guy is doing that. Please stop that. Stop that. Just call the person their name. Use their name. And be free. Oh, what is my baby? Yes, my queen. When did you become my king and I became your queen? Anyway, I've done a whole broadcast on in-laws. If you look at the episode 13, it's a whole broadcast on in-laws. So please make time and find it. Some of the people sending these questions is because they haven't watched all the episodes. Okay, so this person said, few months into our marriage, my mother-in-law came all the way in the name of taking care of my baby. I do have misunderstanding with my husband, and anything I say is always used against me by both my husband and my mother-in-law. Sometimes he takes sides with his mom and vice versa. I do cry and believe I'm alone. My baby is my only consolation. If I call my parents to inform them, all they keep on telling me is to be patient and not to reply them. It got to a stage that whenever we have an argument, I do keep mute and both of them will flare up. It used to get them angry more if I don't talk. But whenever the mother is not around, we argue and settle immediately. Now his mother has refused to go and has come to stay till Jesus knows. She has even rented a kiosk, that's a shop, and started selling things very close to the house. I don't know what to do or say again. My parents were just saying I should have a lot of patience. I'm not enjoying my marriage because of this. I'm tired. What can I do? Whew. Okay. This is a very touching story. Okay. At the moment, it looks like the husband has ganged up in the marriage against the wife, which shouldn't be. Which shouldn't be, because as a husband and a wife, the two of you are now one flesh. So you should actually, the two of you should now team up against anything else that want to come against you, not the opposite. Okay, so it looks like this guy is probably a mommy's boy, or it's a mommy's boy, or has not totally left. You know, the leaving and cleaving thing. He's not left his mother and his father to cleave to his wife for the two of them to become one flesh. He's not done that yet. Emotionally, mentally, he hasn't done that. So for me, I would suggest that, maybe some of these videos that I've been doing, just share one on your husband's timeline, or just one day play one of them whilst he's around. Play one of them, let him hear. Just play them in the background and let him hear some of them. Or tell him that, can you guys watch marriage seminar videos together, videos about marriage together, because I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done in this case. But at the moment, you are already here. So what should you do? What I would say is pray. That's the first thing. You need a divine intervention, because mothers are very powerful. I was discussing this with my husband today, and I was saying to my husband that this situation, this mother, if she had a good intention for the marriage, she can solve this issue easily. Okay. For example, this same lady, last 2 weeks broadcast, she was the one that was talking about the fact that the husband doesn't help out in the house. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't pray. Okay. And anytime she gets more money, the husband doesn't like the idea of her having more money than her. So that means that the mother is in the house. He can see that this guy doesn't do anything. He can see. This mother, if she's got the right spirit and the right mindset for the son and for the wife, she can change this son's behavior quickly. Okay, because it already looks like he listens to the mother more than the wife. So this mother could have used her power, that mother power, to sit the guy down and say to him, you know what, I've been in this house for a while now. I've observed that you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that. I've observed that you and your wife, you fight, maybe little things, you are calling a meeting, you are doing this. Can you do this? Can you sort this out? And advise the son. And the son will listen, and the whole marriage will turn around better. But because she does not have that spirit, she's now actually becoming a thorn in the flesh of the couple. So they've literally kicked the lady out, and now it's the two of them in the marriage. The lady has no voice, which is very, very sad. So you, the woman, you have to understand that this is not the right spirit. And if it's not the right spirit, you've got to pray to cast it out. You cannot start it with the physical. I mean, you can't just go to your mother-in-law and say, I need you out of this house now. First of all, why did you even allow her to come in the first place? So there are a lot of mistakes that have already been done for you to accept that she should come in. You've had a baby. Are you having complications? Did you have a complication? And this is one of the African cultures or traditions that I passionately want to address And I pray that God gives me that voice in Africa. Because I really think that there are some of the traditions that are actually killing some marriages. Okay, you see somebody, they've just had a baby. First baby. You've never had a child before. So maybe you don't know how to bath the child. You don't know how to carry yourself as a new mother. So the idea is, let an elderly person come in and teach you these things until you pick up. That's the idea. But now it has become a tradition whereby people who don't even need this help. But because it has now become a mindset, this is our tradition. This is a culture. I've just had a baby. My mother has to come. My husband's mother has to come. So even when you don't need the help, you still want them to come. And there are some people who will even move out of their marital home and go and stay with their mothers for a year. In the name of, I'm inexperienced, teach me how to take care of my child. Teach me how to bath the baby. This culture, I don't think is helping. I don't think it's helping at all. I don't think it's helping. If you've just had a baby and maybe you had a complication, because there are some people, they go through cesarean section. Some people, maybe there are complications that affect your health. Or maybe you are the only person in the house and you can't do anything. You don't know how to handle things. Then you can say, okay, let my mother come in, or let my husband's. And who says it has to be your mother? Or who says it has to be your husband's mother? It could be an elderly person, anybody. It can even be a friend of yours who can come and help for a day or two. If it's a complication that you've had and you have to be in the bed for a long time, or you have to be in the hospital for a long time, and they have to come in to stay and help until things pick up, fair enough. That should be an understanding between the two of you. You, the husband and the wife, decide. My mother is coming in at this time. She's coming for this number of weeks. Okay? So you decide before the mother even come in, whichever side is coming from, decide how long are they coming for. You need to communicate this to the person before they come. Okay? Communicate it. If it is you, the woman, if it's your mother coming, speak to your mother. Your husband should not even speak to her. You, the woman, speak to your mother. Mom, we are having a child at this month. We are thinking that maybe you should come and help us to bath the child or teach us how to do it. We would like the help for 2 weeks. So, are you able to come in for 2 weeks? That's if they live far. They live in a different city. Are you able to come in for 2 weeks and then help us after the 2 weeks? Then you can go back. Make sure you emphasize on the fact that they are not going to stay in the house forever. They are coming here for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, they go. If it's 3 months, you need the help, you make it clear. You are coming for 3 months. After 3 months, you go. If it's 6 months, even 6 months is too much. Teaching, what are they going to teach you that you can't learn within a month? If you are not sick, if there is no complication, if the child is not sick, what are they going to teach you? Is it a bad thing that they're going to teach you for a whole 6 months? So some of us, maybe you are watching, you've just had a baby, or you're about to have a baby, or you are even single, you are thinking, when I have my child, my mother has to come and live here for 1 year, my mother-in-law has to come and... Why? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You may not even need it, but because you've seen people do it, you've seen it being happening in your family, you think it must happen. It has now become a tradition. So you see people, they've had a child, 2 children, their mothers are still coming in. So now you can't even tell me you are inexperienced. You've had a child before. So you've learned how your mother has already come in to teach you how to bath the child. Why do you have to bring her again for your 3rd child, for your 5th child? Because these things are causing issues. Some of them, they come in, they don't have the right spirit. So they come in and they are breaking the marriage. And I know this is hard, especially when you live in Africa. It's hard because you've seen it. It's like it has become the norm. So you are thinking, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? You've heard. And I've heard so many. Some of you have heard so many. How people come in, they come into the house. Okay, for me, I don't think they have to come and stay for that long. If they are coming, give them a deadline. You're coming for this number of months. You're coming for this number of weeks. And as I said before, it does not even have to be your own mother or your mother-in-law. If the person if you are staying at a place, because sometimes what would happen is, because you want your mother to come, the man will also say, me too, my mother has to come. So there are some families, there are some marriages that the girl's mother will come for 6 months, the guy's mother will come for 6 months. It's almost like a competition. Why are you turning your home into a competition? Whereby people they want to do what they want because this is our grandchild. So me too have to come. If your mother came for 3 months, me too have to come for 3 months. Don't turn your house into a football pitch whereby everybody is playing anyhow. No, you make the decision. If it's just one person you need, that one person come, they've done their work, they are gone. Okay? And if you don't even need to let them come, okay? Find somebody in where you stay, the area you are living. It could be an elderly person in the church or a matured person in the church that you respect. You can speak to them. We've just had a baby. We want you to teach us how to bath the baby. They are not coming to live in the house. They come in the evening or in the morning. They bath the child. They leave. When one of my sisters had a baby, we were young but then. There was an elderly woman. She will come in the morning, sometimes in the evening, depending on the weather. She will come in, bath the child. While she's bathing the child, my sister will be standing there. Even me, I was there. Because we normally like to see the way they have this interesting way they bath their children. They will put the hot water into the children's bum and the child will be crying. It's just, as children, we found it very fascinating. So we're just around watching. So she will sit around, be watching how the lady is bathing the child, the important places she has to bath the child. After that, the lady goes to her house. She doesn't live there. So maybe if you think your mother is the kind who is going to be problematic, your mother-in-law is going to be problematic, don't send them to come. Don't ask them to come from the village. Look for somebody who stays in the city you are. They come in the evening, they go. If your mother lives in the same city, let her come in the evening, bath the child. After that, she leaves. She shouldn't stay in the house, because if she stays in the house, maybe your mother-in-law will also say that, your husband's mother will also say, well, your mother came to live here, me to let me come and live. To prevent all of that, come and do, you go. We only need one help. We only need it for 2 weeks. You teach us for 2 weeks, and that's it. See, you may not agree with me, but these things solve so many problems. Because there are some people who will move, they will actually, they didn't have any complications during the pregnancy or the delivery. They had natural birth. Everything is fine. The baby mother is fine. Husband is fine. And still, they will pack their bag and go to the village or go to their mother's house. Because traditionally, it must be so. It must not be so. And then you leave your husband, you go away for a whole year. A whole year. Your husband cannot see you. Even if he comes to the house, it's not in your mother's house that he's going to have sex with you. He comes there are certain things he can't do with you. So a whole year he's not had sex. And then he go and corner some small girl somewhere and start sleeping with her. And then you find out, and you are saying that there's a witch. The devil has come to your home to destroy your marriage, but it is your decision. And there are some ladies, the husband will say, don't go, I want to support you. You are fine, let me support you. Let's live in this house and do what we can do. You say, no, I have to go to my mother's house. I have to go to my auntie's house. I have to go this, so that they will do this, so that they will do that. And then when issues come, you are blaming the devil. You don't listen. Okay, so some of these things, I think that it needs to be reversed. We need to change it. We need to change it, especially those of you who are now getting married, those of you singles. Start putting those things in place. Don't put it in your right from day one. Your mother-in-law or your father or your mother should not think. Don't make them think that immediately you have a child, we are coming to live in the house. Kill that thing from their mind. Kill it. Kill it. It's not a law. It shouldn't be a law that if you are needed, yes, if we think we need you, even if it's a natural birth and we think we need that help, yes, we will call you to come. And when you come, we give you a deadline. You are coming for this number of, or you come in the evening, take care of you help, you leave. Yeah, look, she's now hired the place. She's literally telling you she's come to stay because she's now selling in front of the house. She's telling you she's now here to stay. Okay, and I was trying to dig into this more, and I was asking the lady that is your husband the only son, the only child of the mother? Because sometimes if the only child, that kind of thing can happen whereby they feel like it's my child, so he's my only child, so that kind of bond. And he said no, there's another person, and this time is a lady. And ladies are better able to even take care of their mothers than men. So why did she not go to her daughter's house, but is coming to her son's house? Because probably the daughter and the husband did not allow it. They won't allow it. You are the one that is weak. So pack her bag, come and stay. Okay, so please, these things you have to sincerely ask yourself, do I really need it? Do I really need it? And if I need it, and you want your mother or your mother-in-law to come, or whoever to come and help, make sure that you've both agreed on how long they are coming for, what time they are coming, when are they coming, and communicate to them, let them agree with you before they come. So that when the time comes and you are telling them it's time for you to go, and even before, if it's 2 weeks you've given them, before the 2 weeks, start saying it, start preparing their mind, start getting their things ready. You go to the shop, you buy certain things, you say, Mom, I'm just buying this because I know in 2 weeks time you'll be going, so when you are leaving, you can take this away. So you start preparing their mind that they are going to leave. Because there are some people, if you make the mistake, and they step their foot in the house and they sleep in the house, they will remain there until Jesus comes. And if you want them to be out, your marriage will break. Because there are some people like that. And it's because of the kind of spirit they have come into the marriage with. So the woman at the moment, the lady who asked these questions, you've not been able to do all these things, unfortunately. You're already there. You have to now fight on your knees. Pray, pray, pray. Holy Ghost fire prayers. Whatever mindset, whatever charm, whatever she's done on the husband, the child, pray and break them and sack her with your mouth. I'm not saying go to her physically. Use your words. Find scriptures. Your marriage is your marriage. You have the upper hand on that marriage than your mother-in-law or even your mother. You have the upper hand. You are the legal person in that marriage, not your mother, not your mother-in-law. So you have that authority to be able to cast that spirit out and get her out of the house prayerfully. One day she herself will wake up, she will feel uncomfortable, and she will start packing her things and she will leave. Okay? So that's where I'll leave it. Okay, but as I always say as well, there are some mother-in-laws who are beautiful, they are excellent, they are good. They themselves, before they even start coming to help, they're already telling you that they'll be leaving, or they'll be leaving, or they'll be doing this, or they'll be doing that too. So weigh the situation, because you know the person. But sometimes you just have to put some precautions in place, because people can even change. Maybe they are pretending to like you. They are pretending as if when they come, they'll be angels, and then they come, they turn into something else. I listened to a story some time ago, and the person was saying how the lady, when they got married, their mother-in-law is in Ghana. The guy's mother was in Ghana, and they live in the UK. So this girl was very close with her mother-in-law. She would call, and they were getting on very well. So it was getting to the summertime, and she said to the husband, can we go and bring mommy so that she will come and enjoy the sun and also enjoy UK for at least 6 months before she goes? And the husband said, I know my mother. I don't want my mother to come to this house. The lady said, oh, but we are getting on so well. Why are you doing that? She's your mother. I like her. We are getting on well. She likes me. She won't cause any problems. She pushed, brought the woman to the UK. One day, they were in their bedroom having sex. The guy He finished. He said he was quickly leaving the bedroom to go to the bathroom. When he opened the door, he almost bounced into the mother. Mother, what are you doing? So all the time that they were having sex, the woman was standing at the door and watching them, looking at their nakedness. From that day, that very night, the guy said, you are leaving this house. I already know you will be like this. So the son was calling her, you were a witch, you were a witch. And it became a big deal. So they brought it on the radio as a discussion. Because the guy said, the woman is not living here anymore. I want her out. I told you she's like this, she's like that. You said she should come. Now look at what she's doing. I want her out. And the girl was also thinking, well, she's only been here for 3 months. The visa we've given her is 6 months. Let's wait for the visa to expire. And the guy said, she's not waiting for the visa to expire. We are sending her away. So it became a problem and they had to bring it on air. So some of these things, they are very real. Yeah, they're very real. So we need to be very wise. Let me check if there are any more questions. If not, we'll call it a day. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them to me. If not, we would finish off this series in 2 weeks' time. I think I've covered almost all the questions. If you've sent me a question and I've not covered it, please get in touch with me to remind me, because there are so many, I've got so many WhatsApp messages, so it's very easy to miss out on some of them. Yeah, I hope you've been blessed. I know you've picked up something from this that you can run with. Okay. Send your questions, watch the previous episodes, share the broadcast with your friends, tell somebody about Swal, tell somebody about Moal. If you are a Swalian who is married, and maybe we are not aware, or you used to be in Swal and you are married, please contact me. We've got a WhatsApp group for the married couples. Yeah, and if you want to join Swal, you can go on our website, www.singlewithalife.org, and then you read everything about us. There's a WhatsApp group link there. Click on that, read everything that we do, and join us so that you can be a single with a life. God bless you. I hope to be back in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. And next week, I will be on the Single with a Life Facebook page to do a broadcast as well. So you can tune in there if you are single. Okay. God bless you. So this song is by Prosper Ochimana. And the Prosper, he spells it with P-A, not P-E-R. And the title is Ekueme. So you can find it on YouTube and play it. It's a very powerful song. You are the living God. Is there no one like you? The translation says the one who says, and that's it. Is there no one like you? Okay, have a wonderful week. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.